Could we see a day where one Bitcoin is worth $1 million? Is this just a hypey claim, or are there legitimate use cases for Bitcoin that could one day make this a reality? One of the biggest Bitcoin bulls is Cathie Wood, and she believes Bitcoin will reach at least 500,000, but her research also highlights some other use cases which could send the price much higher. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at 4 use cases for Bitcoin, which could not only send the price to $1 million, but actually closer to $2 million. And these include use case number 1 from Cathie Wood, use case number 2, which is also from Cathie Wood, use case number 3, which is from the Winklevoss twins, and use case number 4 is one I will add myself. And remember, if Bitcoin were to go to $1 million, this would be extremely bullish for the entire crypto market, sending many of the altcoins to the moon. As always, if you do enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, always appreciated. Okay, first up, we're going to start with Cathie Wood and use case number 1. Ready? Let's do this.
$500,000 number came from work that we did around institutions, including pensions, sovereign wealth funds, also included high net worth individuals, and a global study. And we said, if we did, well, first of all, let me back up and say, this is the first new asset class since the 1600s, equities. And it exhibits a very low correlation in terms of returns relative to all the other asset classes. In fact, in our paper on the institutionalization of Bitcoin in particular, we showed that correlation matrix, and the highest correlation was to real estate. Trying to figure out, okay, institutions talk in terms of volatility and Sharpe ratio. And if an institution did commit 6.5%, or that group of what we called institutions globally, then just that allocation would add $500,000 to Bitcoin's price. That was that 500,000. It wasn't that it would hit 5,000, it would add 500,000.
So, ARK Invest did a global study which found that if institutions, pension funds, sovereign wealth funds allocated 6.5% to Bitcoin, then this would add 500,000 to the Bitcoin price. And note, this didn't give Bitcoin a $500,000 price, this added 500,000 to the Bitcoin price. And just in this last year alone, this is now starting to happen. We've had the first insurance companies and wealth management firms beginning to add Bitcoin to their portfolios. So that was use case number 1. Next up, we have use case number 2, staying with Cathie Wood, and this one would also add a further $400,000 to Bitcoin's price. Take a look.
The institutional use case that we did not expect when we wrote that paper was the diversification of cash into Bitcoin on corporate balance sheets. Square, Tesla, MicroStrategy, the most dramatic. That use case, if corporations devoted 10% of their cash throughout the world to Bitcoin, that would increase the price of Bitcoin by $400,000. So that's the other institutional case.
So the other institutional case is if global corporations decide to convert some of their cash sitting on their balance sheets. And she found that if corporations were to convert 10% of their cash to BTC, this would add a further $400,000 to the Bitcoin price. Now, this started with Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy, and I think no one predicted that Tesla would have followed suit. And if you think these are the only two, then think again. There are now a growing number of corporations all around the world beginning to convert cash over to BTC. And when we add just these 2 use cases together with the current Bitcoin price, we already get close to the $1 million mark. Okay, on to use case number 3, and this time from the Winklevoss twins. The Winklevoss twins were the first Bitcoin billionaires. They founded the exchange Gemini, and they're also pioneers in this space. Take a look.
So we still think it's really early. We think Bitcoin's gold 2.0. It will disrupt gold, so its market cap has to be 10 trillion or more, because that's the market cap of gold. So Bitcoin's hovering around 1 trillion now. We still think it's at least conservatively a 10x from here. So even at 35,000, it feels like a really good buying opportunity long term, because we think at a $10 trillion market cap, we think one Bitcoin will be worth $500,000. And we think that could happen inside this decade, definitely the next 5 years. So we're hodlers at least until $500,000. And then at that point, you won't even have to sell because you can borrow off it or whatever.
Right. And a fun fact, there's 46 million millionaires on the planet. It's only 21 million Bitcoins. So they won't own a Bitcoin. So if you own a Bitcoin today, you will be a millionaire in the future, for sure. Congratulations.
You guys are really buying favor with the audience, telling them that.
Yeah.
So the third use case is the retail investors. And the fun fact they shared is that there are now 46 million millionaires, and there'll only ever be 22 million Bitcoin. So this means by owning one Bitcoin today, you're guaranteed to become a millionaire. Also, their main thesis is that Bitcoin is a better version of gold, so gold 2.0. And gold has a market cap of $10 trillion. So if Bitcoin's market cap got to 10 trillion, this would give a Bitcoin price of $500,000. And the final use case is use case number 4. And this one I will add myself, and it has to do with central banks. If Bitcoin does in fact go on to replace gold, then we could see the central banks adding Bitcoin to their reserves, like they have historically done with gold. And because the central banks have the deepest pockets out of everyone, this could easily add a further $500,000 to Bitcoin's price. Now, interestingly, I went away to find out how much Bitcoin would have to increase from today's price of around $40,000 to get to the $1 million mark. And I found out it was a 24 times increase, a 24x. Now, you might think this isn't possible, right? Well, interestingly, in 2017, Bitcoin's low point was $777. It then went on to $19,500. And guess what? That was a 24 times increase. So in 2017 alone, Bitcoin did a 24x. So is it possible that with these 4 use cases that Bitcoin could do another 24x in, let's say, the next 5 to 10 years? I would personally have to say that it is possible. I think the debate would be how probable. So, in summary, we had our 4 use cases for Bitcoin: institutional portfolios, corporate balance sheet, retail investors, and central bank reserves. And when added all together, they do in fact take Bitcoin's price closer to $2 million. So, will Bitcoin ever get to the $1 million mark? Let me know what you think below. Just to say then, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, then click below and join us. I do have some great videos coming up that you don't want to miss. Okay, cheers guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.